And it's just like, you boy, you're puffing your cheeks at me disrespectfully. I was like, you just hate me then. All right, fair enough.
Welcome to approximately the fifth live stream. We're going to be talking about some rap today. Sean's put up another video a couple of weeks back, so we'll be discussing that and also going through some ideas that people have sent in. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, feeling pretty good.
Excellent.
I'm channeling Robert De Niro.
Why are you channeling Robert De Niro?
I don't know. It just seems like everything. Anytime someone said like, and it's not just because like you watch him in movies, and you know he's a great actor and all the rest of it. But when you like watch him in an interview, he does have that thing where it's just like, it's like, oh, so how do you feel? How do you feel about? What's your opinion on? And it's like, yeah. What are you gonna do about it? Forget about it.
Is that a little bit of an Italian accent coming out there?
No, I mean that's an Italian catchphrase, but I wouldn't ever.
I know it's an Italian catchphrase. I just thought I detected a little hint of an Italian accent.
No, I've been told every single accent I try sounds like I'm trying to do an Indian accent. So yeah. I'm not sure if it was like, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but like I've heard it from quite a few different people, so I have to assume that there's some truth in it. So like, you know, try and do an Irish accent. It's like, oh, is that an Indian accent? Like, no, I'm not.
We need to hear your Irish accent now, really, don't we?
Well, I don't want to insult two different groups of people at the same time. Yeah. Like, no. The accent comes from living in Nigeria, where, I mean, it's changed now, but back in the day, like, it's because you know everyone's dealing with homeschooling at the moment. We're having a conversation today with about a little one. It was like someone saying, "Oh, I feel so sorry for her. It's really boring, you know, having to do stuff online." And I was just looking at it going, "I don't feel sorry for her at all." Like when I was a kid, when I was the same age, I was starting school in Nigeria. On my first day, I got caned. It doesn't happen these days, but I remember.
Sounds like a good first day.
No, it was an awesome first day. Like, how many things could possibly go wrong? You know, and because the thing is, I'd been transplanted from. I think I just started primary school in Cardiff, and I had a fairly strong, you know, sort of Cardiff accent.
Yeah.
And you know, like Cardiff is Cardiff. You know, you kid, you mess around, you joke around. There's no, you know, education was. If you can read and write, you're doing all right. So that's what anyone cared about. So go from there, where you're just messing around, playing, and then as long as you turn up for assembly, you're a good kid, to like the Nigerian school, which was like, all right, so we got to stand outside, sing the national anthem, march into the classroom, like full military style, a bunch of 6-year-olds.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't know what I was doing, like bumping into people in the line. I was trying to be friendly and crack jokes, like, oh, I know how I'm going to make friends. I'm gonna be joking, like just straight away, like teachers like looking at me, going, what are you doing? Why are you talking? You know, just like really aggressive as well. And when you're 6 from this country, unless you know life is really hard, you don't expect that level of aggression. But like, no. I remember starting school in Nigeria, like the teachers were super aggressive, like in your face shouting. You could get caned for every. So first day I got caned for being too slow. I got caned for being too fast. I got caned for puffing my cheeks out disrespectfully. That's the one that sort of that was the one that kind of broke me, and I was kind of like, yeah, there's no. I was trying to. What are the rules? Like, what mistakes am I making? Like, why am I getting beaten all the time? And it's just like, you boy, you're puffing your cheeks at me disrespectfully. I was like, you just hate me then. All right, fair enough. There's no way. All right. It was. I don't know if I told you the story. There's a guy called Mr. Emperor. That was his real name. Genuinely, his name was Mr. Emperor.
Was he a rapper?
He wouldn't have been a good rapper. Penguin. Like he was like a pencil neck guy with like a really thin mustache. Like he looked like an Italian gigolo who worked in the post office. Like that's how he looked, like sort of short hair that was a little bit slicked, pencil mustache, like little sharp beard like that. Yeah. And I remember him because, and anyone who's watching this who went to school with me, you might remember that. Mr. Emperor had 3 canes on his desk, and he gave them names, like the full-on freak. He had names for each of these canes, and depending on how much you'd annoyed him, he'd use either, the thin one for like a quick sort of like, I don't like you, whoosh, a quick one like that. If you've really annoyed him, then he'll use the middle one. I think that was called Dr. Pepper. He called the cane Dr. Pepper. I'm not joking.
What was the first one called? What was the thin one called?
I want to say Mr. Snake, but I'm not sure. It's weird. I know it's weird, but he named it. I know the middle one was called Dr. Pepper. I think the first one was called Mr. Snake. I can't remember what the last one was, but the last one was the one where if it was a quick, like a small thing, you got Mr. Snake. If you'd messed up properly, it's Dr. Pepper. And you had to put your hand out to be caned. So you have to come to the front of the class, put your hand out like that, and they just whoosh, like that 3 times. Like 3 quick whacks to your hand, and you're just holding it. It's like, I'm not gonna cry. And you walk back to your chair. But if it comes out like this, and you know it's like you're a kid, someone does that, you flinch. So if you flinched out of the way, and he'd do it on purpose. Sometimes he'd like pretend, and then you'd flinch.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what I mean by this guy was like fully. He wasn't right. So that's when the last one comes out, and I was just like, it was just a stick. It wasn't even a cane. It was just a stick with little knots in it and stuff. And he'd just give you one whack with that, and that would break skin. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean, can you tell us briefly what the latest lyric writing video is about? Just sum it up. Say what
yeah. So the one that we sent out 2 weeks ago now. So when we put out 2 weeks ago, that was about rap techniques, different ways to develop your writing, different styles. We covered metaphor, simile, using different styles to create imagery, and yeah. So I'm not going to give too much away. Make sure you have a look at that video. It's nice and short compared to previous ones as well. And yeah, we had some good ideas come through again from our celebrity and co-writer Luke. And yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. Thanks again, Luke, for sending stuff in. Really appreciate it. I think you're gonna wrap some of Luke's words now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some of Luke's.
Beat ready. And then maybe give him some feedback afterwards.
Cool.
And see how he's coming along.
All right, let's do it. Luke, I'm always in it for the greater good. And you know it's better when we live in friendly neighborhoods. I never turn in the back like a savior should. The nerdy loser that you didn't like, though you're from the same hood. I know I got potential, I keep it in my mental. Web shoot the ones who need it, they ain't on my level. Wasn't sure what I become, I know that I'm essential. Keep it private and really confidential. Never be defeated, they won't even see it. Something inside me will never stop until defeated. They will see who they bullied, who they beaten. Got the motive of a hero, no evil could weaken. Always jumping into action when they need it. See the one I will be to keep the people see me breathing. Gotta keep them, let them know the truth they be feeling. Now they got somebody to believe in. Yeah, good lyrics. Not great execution on my part. Messed that up a few times, but yeah, I love it. I did love those lyrics. Friendly neighborhoods, massive hint there. This about Spider-Man. Web shoot the ones who need it.
Why is that Spider-Man reference?
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is like a classic, like comic book catchphrase of his. So like back
I'm just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
That's a Stan Lee. That's like a proper old school Stan Lee, comic reference. And
nice.
Yeah, and then sort of going through. So he's definitely got the idea there. He's got the character. It's a full-on story with lots of hints about who it is. And then, like you said, the flow was really good. The rhyme scheme was good. Using metaphors, using similes, and also just a bit more of an attitude as well. So I think it worked on lots of levels. It really sort of came together nicely.
Cool. Are there any specific lines or like any specific metaphors or similes that stand out to you as working particularly well?
I think the fifth line, that's when his flow really starts to move. So when he's sort of like, I know I got potential, I keep it in my mental. So that one sort of jumps out to me because it kind of changes the rhythm and it's just got a nice flow to it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It does work really well, that line, you're right. Excellent. Cool. Any advice? Is there anything like based on that specific one? Is there anything you'd might think about, or do you think he could do with working on?
I think he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. I can't, because in previous ones, it was a lot easier to sort of give him advice and say, there's where you need to improve. This one's really hard. It's really hard for me to find something. I think this is where you got to take a step back. I think when you, as a critic or, as someone who's supposed to know what they're talking about, because there's always that idea like, you have to say something. You've got to give them something to improve on. No, you don't. This is good. I'm happy with it. I like it. I enjoyed it. There's nothing I'll change about this. The only thing I'd say is just as you go on, just extend it a bit more. Like maybe have longer lines and try and maintain that, that consistency. So that's the only thing to go for, really. Just having 3 stanzas with solid stanzas that are like this. But no, I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, no, you got to find something bad to criticize. No, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's cool. Yeah, it's great, and it's been great to see like the improvement of the weeks that he's been sending stuff into us.
Yeah,
it's like the whole point of why we're doing this.
Yeah,
and we're not going to do many more. I'm sending it in again.
Cheers, Luke.
Can't wait to hear the next one.
Yeah.
And as Sean says, get in there now. So, brilliant, excellent. Based on your general knowledge and like life experience, if you had one bit of advice for Luke, what would it be?
Just keep on going.
All right. Basically what Sean said then.
In 3 words.
Much shorter, much more concise.
You didn't even need to listen to the rap or anything. You just give the same advice. Fine.